This isn't going to be a sugar-coated conversation. If you're over 60 and want people to keep inviting you, loving you, respecting you, then today's message is for you. I've been working with older adults for over 25 years, and I've seen something heartbreaking. Sometimes, people start to avoid their elderly loved ones, not because they don't care, but because of certain habits that become too uncomfortable, too awkward, or simply too unpleasant to address. And no one tells you, not your kids, not your friends, not even your pastor. But I'm going to tell you, not to embarrass you, but to empower you. Growing older doesn't mean we become lesser versions of ourselves, but it does mean we have to adapt. Our bodies change, our minds shift, and yes, some of our habits, routines, and behaviors can slowly push people away if we're not careful. That doesn't make you a bad person. It just means it's time to take honest inventory of how others experience us, especially the people we love most. Because respect, connection, and dignity in old age are earned, just like in every other season of life. Let me give you a quick example. A man named Charles, age 81, used to be the life of the party. But lately, his adult children stopped dropping by. His granddaughter always made excuses to leave family dinners early, and his best friend stopped calling. Charles didn't understand why. He was lonely, confused, and a little angry. When he came to my clinic, I sat with him for a while and asked if he was open to hearing some honest feedback. He said yes. So I told him. His chronic complaining, poor hygiene, and disrespectful jokes were making people uncomfortable, and he never even realized it. He wasn't doing it out of malice. He just didn't know it was driving people away. Once he became aware of it, and we worked together on making a few small changes, something incredible happened. His son invited him out to breakfast again. His granddaughter sat next to him at the next holiday dinner. His neighbor stopped avoiding him and started stopping by with cookies. Why? Because people wanted to be around him again. Because he took responsibility for how he showed up in the world. That's why I'm making this video. Today, I'm going to share 13 common habits that slowly push people away. The kind that your loved ones won't mention, but they notice. And I'm going to show you how to fix each one with compassion, dignity, and grace. These habits are not about shame. They're about awareness. And when you become aware, you take back control of how people see you, and more importantly, how they feel around you. So, before we dive into habit number 1 in the next part, I want you to take a deep breath and repeat after me. Getting older does not mean getting worse. It means getting wiser, and wiser people grow. Let's begin with 4 of the most common habits I see in older adults that quietly and sometimes unintentionally push people away. These are behaviors people don't call out, but they absolutely notice. And while they may seem small, over time, they chip away at connection and make others uncomfortable, distant, or resentful. I'm going to name them clearly and show you how to fix each one. Ugly habit number 1. Personal hygiene neglect. This is one of the most uncomfortable things to bring up, especially for family. Body odor, unwashed clothes, bad breath, dirty fingernails. These are things people notice first, but talk about last, if ever. As we age, it's normal to lose sensitivity to smell, or to struggle with daily routines due to arthritis, fatigue, or even depression. But none of that makes you less capable. It just means you need better systems. Here's what to do. Keep your hygiene supplies easily accessible. Use an electric toothbrush and schedule regular dental visits. Ask for help with laundry if needed, or use pickup services. Set weekly grooming goals with reminders. When you look and smell clean, people feel safe, comfortable, and respected around you. That's not vanity, it's social survival. Ugly habit number 2, chronic complaining. It's easy to fall into negativity, especially when dealing with health issues, financial stress, or loneliness. But constant complaining drains people emotionally. It makes others feel helpless, frustrated, or even guilty, especially younger family members. You don't have to pretend everything's fine, but balance is key. Try this. For every complaint, share one thing you're grateful for. Don't unload on people the moment they arrive. Start with warmth. Avoid using visits to dump all your worries. Even just saying, "I've been having a tough week, but I'm really glad you came over." Create space for connection, not discomfort. Ugly habit number 3. Inappropriate jokes or comments. This one breaks my heart because it often comes from people who mean no harm. But jokes that were funny in the 1970s may now come off as offensive, racist, sexist, or just plain awkward, especially to younger people. Even comments about someone's appearance, weight, or lifestyle choices can land the wrong way today. If people laugh nervously, avoid eye contact, or don't respond at all, that's your signal. How to fix it? Pause before making a joke. Ask yourself, would I say this to a grandchild in public? Focus on compliments, stories, or neutral humor. If someone says, "That's not okay," respond with humility, not defensiveness. Your wisdom carries more weight when your words are thoughtful. Ugly habit number 4. Being emotionally dismissive. This one is subtle and dangerous. When someone shares something important and you reply with, "That's nothing. Back in my day." We didn't complain. You'll get over it. You shut them down. You may not mean to hurt them. You may be trying to toughen them up. But what they hear is, "My feelings don't matter to you." And that makes them stop coming to you, stop confiding in you, stop visiting altogether. The fix? Practice reflective listening. That sounds really hard. Ask open questions. How did that make you feel? Offer presence, not always advice. Let's recap the first 4 habits and fixes. Neglecting hygiene, prioritize routine. Ask for help, use tools. Constant complaining, add gratitude, open with warmth. Inappropriate jokes, stay aware, read the room. Evolve with the times. Being dismissive, listen deeply, validate feelings, respond with empathy. People don't leave because you're old. They leave because they don't feel heard, seen, or respected. But you can change that starting today. Now that we've talked about hygiene, chronic complaining, and dismissive words, let's dig deeper into a few more habits that can quietly erode your connection with others, especially family. These next 4 behaviors may not seem ugly on the surface, but I promise, if left unchecked, they can leave a trail of emotional distance. And the hardest part is, no one will tell you. So I will. Ugly habit number 5. Monopolizing conversations. You want to share your stories, your thoughts, your past. You've lived decades of life, and it's only fair that you want others to hear it. But when every conversation becomes your monologue, others begin to feel erased. You might notice people stop calling, grandkids stay silent around you. Conversations feel one-sided. The fix? Ask more questions. Use phrases like, "What's going on in your life lately? What's something exciting you're working on? Tell me about your week. I want to listen." And when someone talks, really listen. Resist the urge to one-up or redirect. Sometimes the greatest wisdom isn't what you say, it's what you allow others to say. Ugly habit number 6. Criticizing food, music, or preferences. This one often comes out during dinners or holidays. You sit down, someone puts food in front of you, and you say something like, "This isn't how we used to make it. That's too spicy. Why are you listening to this garbage?" You may think it's harmless, but to your kids or grandkids, it feels like rejection. They cooked for you, shared something personal, and you dismissed it. How to adjust. Practice appreciation over judgment. Say thank you before why. Be curious about new tastes, styles, or ideas. Even just saying, "Not my favorite, but I really appreciate the effort," can go a long way in making people feel seen. Ugly habit number 7. Repeating the same negative stories. You might not realize how often you retell that story about the surgery, the neighbor's betrayal, or how everything was better back then. But repetition, especially when negative, becomes draining. It teaches people to expect complaint, not joy, when they visit. The fix? Rotate your stories. Mix in uplifting memories or funny moments. Share victories, not just wounds. Even something like, "You know what made me laugh this week?" can reframe the energy in the room. Ugly habit number 8. Guilt-tripping statements like, "You never visit me. I guess you're too busy for your old parent now. I'll probably be gone soon anyway." These comments might come from pain, but they land like emotional blackmail. And over time, they drive people further away, the exact opposite of what you want. The honest truth? Your kids and grandkids already feel guilty about not visiting enough. Adding guilt only makes them avoid you more to escape the discomfort. Instead, try, "I really miss you. It would mean a lot if we could find a time soon. Your visit is the highlight of my week. Can we plan one?" These are invitations, not guilt trips. People don't respond well to shame, but they respond beautifully to love and warmth. Let's quickly review this set of 4. Talking too much, listening too little. Start asking questions. Criticizing others' choices. Offer appreciation first. Recycling old pain. Mix in joy, humor, and new memories. Guilt tripping. Replace with heartfelt invitations. These might feel subtle, but trust me, they are powerful. And the moment you become aware of them, you become more magnetic, not less. Let's finish strong. We've covered 8 habits so far that might be creating emotional distance between you and the people you love. Now, I want to walk you through the final 5 behaviors, and these are often the most overlooked. They show up in body language, in how we interact with technology, in how we use silence, and in the subtle ways we either invite connection or shut it down. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about becoming more self-aware and intentional. Ugly habit number 9. Always looking at the past with bitterness. Nostalgia is beautiful, but when every story about the good old days is used to criticize the present, people feel judged, unappreciated, and small. If every conversation becomes, "Back when I was your age, things were better before all this modern stuff. Kids today have it so easy," you're no longer connecting. You're broadcasting disapproval. Try this instead. Things have changed a lot, haven't they? Tell me what you like about now. When I was your age, it was different. But I'm curious how you see things. Honor your past, but don't weaponize it. People live in the present, and they want you there with them. Ugly habit number 10. Being stubborn or always needing to be right. This one is tricky. It comes from pride, from experience, from having seen it all. But when you never admit you're wrong, when every disagreement becomes a debate, when saying "I'm sorry" feels impossible, you make it hard for people to feel safe around you. People aren't drawn to those who are always right. They're drawn to those who are kind, humble, and willing to learn. Next time you feel the need to win a point, ask yourself, is this helping connection or feeding my ego? Try. You might be right. I hadn't thought of it that way. Let's agree to disagree and move on. Ugly habit number 11. Being overly negative about health. It's okay to talk about your health, but if every conversation revolves around pain, medication, doctors, and fears, you create a heavy atmosphere. You are more than your symptoms, and the people around you want to connect with you, not just your diagnoses. If you tend to lead with, "My back is killing me again," I'm probably not going to make it much longer. It creates anxiety for your loved ones, especially younger ones. Instead, be honest, but limit health talk to one part of the visit. Then shift towards something hopeful, funny, or lighthearted. Ugly habit number 12. Being too silent or emotionally shut down. Some seniors stop speaking up altogether. They sit silently at family dinners. They don't share how they feel. They avoid eye contact. They stay on the fringe. It may come from fatigue or sadness or the belief that no one wants to hear you. But silence becomes its own wall, and soon, people stop trying to break through. Even just saying, "I'm happy to be here. That story made me laugh. I'm proud of you." That can bridge the gap and remind others that you are still emotionally present. Don't let silence make people think you've disappeared, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. Ugly habit number 13. Being glued to devices around loved ones. This might surprise you, but it's becoming more common. Seniors scroll Facebook, check news apps, or play endless games while their family is sitting right there. Screens block presence. Even your grandkids feel ignored if your eyes are on your phone instead of their face. The fix is simple. Put the phone down during meals. Mute notifications during visits. Make eye contact. Ask people questions. Show that they matter more than the screen. It's a small change with huge impact. Let's review the final 5 habits. Romanticizing the past to shame the present. Refusing to admit when wrong or compromise. Oversharing health complaints. Emotional withdrawal or silence. Screen distraction during real moments. Every one of these habits can be replaced with presence, humility, kindness, and curiosity. You've just done something not many people your age are willing to do. You've listened, you've reflected, and I hope you feel inspired, because awareness is power. And now that you've seen these 13 habits for what they are, not insults, not criticisms, but opportunities to reconnect, you can choose a different path. Let me say this plainly. You are not defined by your mistakes, not by your age, not by habits you picked up over decades. You are defined by your willingness to evolve. People don't avoid older adults because they're old. They avoid what feels heavy, hurtful, closed off, or draining. But when you're warm, curious, clean in body and spirit, open to growth, you become magnetic again. You become someone people want to be around because they feel good in your presence. That's a beautiful kind of power. Maybe today you realize you've fallen into some of these habits. That's okay. So have I. So have we all. But now you have the tools, the awareness, the truth. And here's the bigger truth. Every single one of these habits is fixable. Some in a week, others in a month. All in time, if you care enough to try. Let's review the journey. We started by addressing hygiene and emotional presence. We explored listening, gratitude, and letting go of control. We faced harsh truths about silence, screens, and stubbornness. And we learned that connection isn't just about being right, it's about being real. This wasn't about judgment, it was about liberation. Because the moment you realize you have the power to stop pushing people away, is the moment you start drawing them back in. If this video spoke to you, here's what I want you to do today. Write down just one habit you're going to work on this week. Tape it to your mirror or refrigerator. Call someone you love and just listen. Don't lecture, don't correct. Just be there. Comment below, "I'm not done growing." That's our signal that this is a community of seniors who refuse to shrink. And if you found value here, please like this video. It helps others find it. Subscribe for more weekly truth, healing, and support. Share this with a friend who may not hear this message from anyone else. Because growing older isn't the end of your influence. It's the beginning of a deeper legacy, and you still get to shape it. You're not too late. You're not too far gone. You're just one choice away from being the version of yourself your family longs to love again. Let's start now.